precisely why Jefferson wrote it.
We do need to acknowledge our Christian heritage in America. That's what I'm trying to.
You can acknowledge whatever heritage you want, but you can't impose an establishment of religion on other people. That's the greatness.
I'm not suggesting that at all. I'm just saying we need to acknowledge our heritage. That's what I'm saying.
Everybody can acknowledge their own heritage. Do you agree with that?
American heritage, not just any heritage, is what I'm saying.
Oh, you don't think that you're allowed to acknowledge your Christian heritage or your Jewish heritage or your Muslim heritage?
I'm saying you members of Congress need to acknowledge American heritage.
Jamie Raskin thought the student was going to back down. Big mistake. The second Hunter Lopez started exposing the double standards at his school. Quorums allowed, conservative club blocked, death threats ignored. The whole hearing exploded into total chaos. And then, gasps, Raskin and the student went head-to-head over Christianity, the Constitution, and America itself. You need to hear this one.
Important, and thanks for being here and being boldly telling us about what happened. Can you tell us what are the requirements to create a student club at your school?
The requirements are to have 10 members, a teacher that's willing to sponsor, and a room to meet.
And did the Republican club that you formed meet those requirements?
We did on day one.
It did, and was your club allowed to be created?
No, we were actually notified that we were denied due to political nature, even though other ideological groups, including groups promoting gender-affirming ideology, were approved.
Why do you think the school had such a sort of obvious double standard?
I'm not sure if it's the educational establishment. It could be any of those. It could be the principals that have been in the system for a while. They just don't want conservative values. I think it's a trend we've seen with, how Charlie Kirk was on campuses and on high school campuses. I think that they think conservative values are a threat because they're true.
And how has the school administration either encouraged or supported World Hijab Day?
Our principal actually wore the hijab 2 years in a row that we know of. It could be more. She's posted it, promoted on social media, saying she, quote, loved it, all caps. And they're just promoting these events like nothing, but our club, on the other hand, has to receive strict, first of all, we weren't approved in the first place, and then once we were the only club that couldn't have other privileges that other groups had, and they took down our posters. And so there's just a lot of things in this double standard, clearly, to favor the Islamic group.
Is it true that your school's libraries offer Islamic literature, like the Quran and other things?
Yes, so McMillan Junior High and Wiley ISD offers a Quran, but no Bible available.
But no Bible. So there's a Quran, but the Bible's not allowed.
Correct.
Is that true in multiple libraries?
From what I know, confirmed, it's McMillan Junior High is one that I know of. I can look at the other libraries and submit them to you if I find any other findings.
Okay. Have you talked to the school about why they would allow a Quran but not a Bible?
So I haven't, the principals actually run away from me and hide, so I can't have a discussion with my principals because I act like an adult and they act like children.
Yeah, well, you very much are acting like an adult. They probably don't want to be on the record with that policy, given how egregious it is. When clubs such as your sponsor visitors to come to the school and speak about club interests, whatever they are they subject to security screenings?
So when our club has guest speakers, including a state representative or a congressman, we have to submit 2 weeks in advance paperwork. We have to submit a week in advance background check. We have to submit their staff if they're coming. All these lengthy processes. I often have to miss my lunch period and skip lunch, skip a meal to fill these out. But on the other hand, the Islamic group got favorable treatment.
Okay, yeah. What were the security protocols that were in place for the Islamic group?
From what I know, none.
None?
From what I know.
So typically, you have to go through a lengthy background process, but this Islamic group didn't have to.
Correct. Obviously, they didn't background check, the organization because it has multiple terror links, and they didn't. I guess they didn't check the Sharia pamphlets that they gave us or the Qurans with the Shahada card. They were perfectly fine with it because the principal was there that day, just looking at it, perfectly fine.
What's been the response from the school since you've been public and vocal about this double standard?
Like I said in my opening testimony, when my mom had requested the principal to email my teachers, because I had to miss school for the first day after that, and I had to go late the second day because of death threats and things like that. And my mom had asked the principal to email my teachers just to keep an extra eye on me, and the principal told my mom, "You can." So it's really, that speaks volumes to the approach of leadership that the school has and the school district has, because I guess they just wanted to dismiss my safety in that moment.
You received death threats?
Yes, sir.
What were some of the death threats? Could you tell us about them?
I had people saying that they were going to be at my house waiting for me to get home and they were going to shoot me. I had people telling me to kill myself, a lot of different things. But I know nobody can proclaim anything over me because I wake up every morning with victory with Christ.
Amen. That's exactly right. What has the school's response been to these death threats?
Like I said, that first day it was very dismissive. I actually received a death threat last year, and I believe I have emails, and I could submit them to the record of the principal saying, "Oh, things are already taken care of." Very, I would say, downgrading it or just minimizing specific situations. I can submit those emails to the record.
I just want to be clear. You had a threat against your life, somebody saying that they were going to come to your house and murder you.
Correct.
And your school's response was dismissive.
Well, wait a second. Now, you're traversing my territory now, Mr. Hunter Lopez. You brought it up. Are you aware that the Constitution of the United States does not establish a religion? It forbids the establishment of religion. Are you aware that it doesn't mention God?
So the Declaration of Independence mentions God 4 times. But what I was going to say...
Is the Declaration of Independence law?
So Declaration of Independence was declaring our independence from the tyranny of England.
Yeah.
But
The
what I was trying to
Constitution's the
finish
governing
is
law.
that I'm not, suggesting that we need to go back to taking, tests or saying that you have to acknowledge.
By the way, do you know
religion.
that
But what
Thomas Jefferson was denounced as an infidel who wrote the Declaration of Independence because he didn't believe in the establishment of religion, and he and Madison were emphatic about separating church and state? That's the whole glory of our constitutional design in our history, that they rebelled against centuries of religious warfare between the Catholics and the Protestants and witchcraft trials, Inquisition, Holy Crusades. America proclaimed the separation of church and state, what Thomas Jefferson described in his famous letter to the Danbury Baptists as a wall of separation.
That was a letter, not a law.
Okay, so your position is that America is a theocracy?
You didn't let me finish my original statement, and I understand you have limited time, but what I was going to say is I'm not suggesting we need to go back to anything that's in writing, but what I am saying is we need to acknowledge...
Oh, I think we should go back to something in writing. I think we should go back to the First Amendment.
Oh, yes, the Constitution,
yes,
obviously, but what I'm saying is that, how I said original colonies were requiring declaration of faith to run for office. I'm not saying we have
That's why we have a First Amendment.
What I'm saying is that we do...
That's precisely why Jefferson wrote it.
We do need to acknowledge our Christian heritage in America. That's what I'm trying to...
You can acknowledge whatever heritage you want, but you can't impose an establishment of religion on other people. That's the greatness.
I'm not suggesting that at all. I'm just saying we need to acknowledge our heritage. That's what I'm saying.
Well, everybody can acknowledge their own heritage. Do you agree with that?
American heritage, not just any heritage, is what I'm saying.
Oh, you don't think that you're allowed to acknowledge your Christian heritage or your Jewish heritage or your Muslim heritage?
I'm saying you members of Congress need to acknowledge American heritage.
Yes, indeed.
Raskin walked into this hearing thinking he was going to lecture another conservative student and move on. Yeah, that did not happen, because Hunter Lopez came prepared, calm, direct, and honestly, way more composed than half the adults in that room. The moment he started explaining what happened at his school, you could feel the tension building immediately. This kid said his Republican club met every requirement from day one. 10 members? Check. Teacher sponsor? Check. Room to meet? Check. But the school still denied the club because it was too political. Meanwhile, according to his testimony, other ideological groups were approved without a problem. That's where this entire thing started heating up. Then it got worse. Hunter claimed the school openly promoted World Hijab Day, even saying the principal wore a hijab, and posted about loving it online. But when conservative students tried promoting their own club, posters got removed, approvals got delayed, and restrictions suddenly appeared out of nowhere. And you could see Republicans on the panel leaning forward like, wait a second. But the room really changed when Hunter started talking about security rules. He said conservative guest speakers had to go through background checks, paperwork, staff verification, the whole process. Yet, according to him, another group allegedly brought in outside organizations with almost no scrutiny at all. That's when the hearing turned from political disagreement into a full-on culture war argument. Then came the emotional moment. Hunter revealed he received death threats after speaking out, people allegedly threatening to shoot him, telling him to kill himself, and according to his testimony, the school's response was basically dismissive. You could hear the frustration in the room instantly. Even people who may disagree politically were probably sitting there thinking, okay, hold on, that's not acceptable. But the real explosion happened when the conversation shifted to Christianity and America's founding. Hunter argued America's Christian heritage should be openly acknowledged. Raskin immediately pushed back, defending separation of church and state and warning against religious establishment. And man, From there, it became a constitutional tennis match. Raskin starts quoting Thomas Jefferson talking about the wall of separation between church and state. Hunter fires back saying the Declaration of Independence mentions God multiple times. Raskin says the Constitution forbids establishing religion. Hunter says acknowledging heritage is not the same thing as imposing religion. And honestly, that's why this clip is blowing up, because this wasn't just another boring congressional hearing. This was the larger debate happening across America right now. Identity, religion, schools, free speech, double standards, all packed into one explosive exchange. And whether you agree with Hunter Lopez or Jamie Raskin, one thing is obvious. This teenager walked into Congress and refused to be intimidated. And judging by the reaction online, a whole lot of Americans noticed.